Alright, I'm Don, and I have a 2001 PT Cruiser, and I'm doing a diagnosis on the car, which, well, I was helped out by somebody else who kind of knows about it, because I was getting some really strange readings with the gauges, and I wasn't really sure, what was going on. So I went over the AutoZone, and I had the gauges hooked up, and I was like, what's up with this? And then he took him just about maybe 5 minutes thinking about it, because I told him the pressures I was getting, and he said, well, he pretty sure it's a clogged orifice tube or an expansion valve. That was what I was thinking. Then I went in the book, and it has an orifice tube in it, so that's really good, because if it was an expansion valve, I might have to take my whole dashboard apart, and boy, that is no easy job, because I was trying to figure it out. But this is actually really only the first time I've done diagnosis on the car, on the air conditioning. But I filled it all up, and I was getting no cold air out of the air conditioning. But the first thing that I'd like to say is that I learned that there's two places to hook the high pressure hose up to, and the first part I was doing wrong. I was hooking the low pressure up here, which is I was hooking the low pressure up here and the high pressure up over here. And so, and at first I'm like, wait a second. The gauges weren't making sense. It was more and there's a mosquito. I didn't get him. Bastard. I still missed him. I think I got him that time. Oh, no. Anyway, trying to kill a mosquito. Sorry about that. I missed. But anyway, so I was reading in the book that you're supposed to put the high pressure from the from the compressor. We're at in the line, because this is in a different place in line. You're supposed to hook it up to the next to the compressor where it's going into the condenser. And that on this PT Cruiser is way down over there, and it's really hard to get to. I had trouble before, because I replaced the O-ring down there because it was leaking. And if you have to, you can move the engine over a little bit to get a little bit more room. And the trouble is your arm doesn't fit. You try to stick your arm down here, and you can see the problem there. It's just your arm just does not fit through that little tiny hole. But if you push it over, I used like a shovel handle. And I put a couple of boards there, and then I was able to, you can get at it better. But this is not too bad if you're just trying to hook this up. But still, it's kind of rough, so I just left it there while I was driving it, this red hose, so I don't have to connect it again. and I disconnected it from the manifold, but I just left it there until, but anyway, that's where you're supposed to hook up the high pressure, not over here when you're doing a diagnostic, you know, because I was looking on the internet and it was saying you're supposed to, from the compressor to the condenser. And also here I was, you know, I read the book. This is I guess the Haynes repair manual. But it says the orifice tube is an integral part of the liquid line. The liquid line must be replaced as a complete unit when servicing the orifice tube. Consult the dealer parts department. So I went to AutoZone. I picked this up for $45. I had to order it and it was in there next day. So it's not too bad. And it looks like the orifice tube is inserted right here where it's crimped. You can see the little crimp. So like that, they were saying is most likely where the orifice tube is, probably right there. So I guess there's a little tiny hole. And with mine, I was well, anyway, but and also then it goes down onto the compressor. I mean, the condenser, which is right here. It's on the lower part. This is the upper part. Then this is the lower part, and it looks pretty easy to get to because all you do is gotta take off. I don't know. You might have to take off the wheel and drag up the car a little bit and take off that little this all the cover that's over the alternator, you know, that plastic. Oh, here it is. This thing right here. I took this off, you know, before. This been off for a while. I've been driving it without it. But it just comes off with a couple of, there's bolts. You gotta reach up. It sits in there like this, and there's some bolts there. Some stuff on the bottom. It's not too hard to take off, but could be difficult if you've never done it, you know. But I've been taking mine off for a while, and just a plastic cover. But I took mine off a while back. But you can see the compressor when it goes on and off. But so anyway, it looks really easy to get to. There's I haven't put this one on yet, but I'm going to in a little bit. But that's where it connects on the condenser, and you can look if you can't see it now because I got the wheel on. But if you look underneath your car, you could actually, I can almost see it, you know, when you look over here. But well, maybe not. But anyway, it's just right in front of the compressor. I mean, the condenser. You can, and on the condenser, it's just right there. You can see it if you go stick your head underneath the car. It looks like, and then here's where the other part it goes to. Right here. This is where it comes off here. And so here's the whole tube all together. So it's like, you know, maybe 3 feet. So it looks, you know, pretty easy. But before you do that, you got to evacuate the system. But I wanted to go through and show you what the pressures I was getting, because I was really weird, because I was getting a suction. And on the low pressure side, I was getting a suction on here, and I couldn't understand that. And it's like, why am I getting a suction there? You know, a vacuum. And that was baffling me. So, but anyway, the guy at the AutoZone too, he said another thing. He says it's clogged because he says when the pressure is not operating, it should be equal on both sides within like 10 seconds. the guy at AutoZone, he's telling me. And so right now on the high pressure side it's 80, and on the low pressure side it's 80. So that's what it's supposed to be within 10 seconds. In mine, he says it's taken a long time to get to the like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes before the pressures will equal out. So he says, yeah, it's clogged. You know, and also when I really wasn't getting really high pressures on the high side, but I'll start up the car and I'll show you what the pressures were. So and what was weird is the compressor was going on, then it was going off. Then I'd wait a few more minutes, then it would go on, then it would go off. And I'm like, what? And then it would go on, then it would go off. And what he was like saying is like saying that the compressor is turning on, but then it's realizing that there's a fault in the system, and then it's shutting itself off, you know, automatically. So, and that's why it was going on and off. And so what I was doing, I made this little clip thing here. I mean, a little piece of wire. Oh, here it is. And it's not a piece of wire. It's like some. It's strong. It's not bendable. I mean, you can see it. It's fixed in its position. So this is what I was using to jump it. And you could turn the compressor on. There's a little thing on top of the dryer. And all you do is got to jump. I can't do this with my hand here. But anyway, all you do is have to jump it there, and this is the fitting on top of the dryer. The dryer that's here. I just pulled it off. It comes off. It might have a little safety clip on there. These things could be hard to take off sometimes. But anyway, that's on there. So what I'm gonna do, I'll start up the car, and then you'll see that the gauges. And I got this red one on the right next to the condenser. And then you'll see that the pressures I'm getting. So right now they're both 80. So I'll start the car. Turn on the air. But you can see the gauge reading. There's a vacuum on the low pressure side, and the high pressure side I'm getting 100. So and that was really baffling me, but we go through the sense of it, figure that out. There, now I turn the compressor on. But anyway, he was like telling me that within 10 seconds the gauges should equal out each other. And so now, mine obviously takes longer because he said it's clogged. So here I'm creating a vacuum on the one side, on the low side, and it's 100 psi on the high side. And if you think about it, and I thought about it for a little bit, but it makes sense. If this tube is clogged here, okay, this is coming from, the condenser, it's going in here, and here is where it's clogged. I hope that's the case. I hope it works after. And I'm not getting cold air when the air conditioning comes on. I get little cold air, but not very much. And so it makes sense because it's trying to, the compressor is trying so hard to get the air to go through, or the refrigerant to go through here, and it's creating so much of it's creating a vacuum, and it's working so hard, it's creating a vacuum in this line, and this is where it's clogged. So that would make total sense, because this is where the low pressure line is attached. So that is the logic that we figured out after the the pressures. And so I hope I'm going to replace it, and I hope that's going to be the case. I hope it's getting cold now. So, and here's that, yeah, it's still taking long. He said within 10 seconds these should equal out each other. So anyway, I guess that's it. So I hope I helped you out on this. If you're getting some weird suction readings on your PT Cruiser, and hope this helps you out, because I was trying to look on the YouTube, I couldn't find anything that would get my circumstance. Anyway, hope it helped you out, and I'll catch you later. I got a 2001 PT Cruiser, and I will be working on it for as long as I own the car, and as soon as I have problems or I have to do stuff, I'll make a little video to try to help other people out. So anyway, all right, thanks. Yeah, because anyway, yeah, it said it'd be like $700 I'm like $45 for that. What the heck, And be careful, don't get refrigerant in your eye. Always wear safety glasses here. Here, these are my glasses I used in a machine shop when I was working in a machine shop, but they look kind of funky. But I did get some oil in my eye the other day, so make sure all the pressures are out of the system before you work on it. So anyway, thanks a lot, and hope this video helped you out. So okay, thanks for watching too. Okay, all right, bye.